Utah. Utah being Utah. I'm out doing some light exploring in the Jeep, and I happen upon this phenomenal designated campsite that's right up against these red rock formations. I don't know that I'm going to spend the night here because I want to do a good bit of exploring still today, but this is excellent. I'm really surprised that the campsite itself is vacant because it's such a good find and it's just a stone's throw from pavement. There's a really cool schoolie parked just down the hill right off the dirt road, and they had the right idea. Encountered a seasonal gate here in Dixie National Forest, and that's okay. That corresponds with the motor vehicle use map. I'm just walking up the road a little bit to check things out. I love being up in the mountains where there's some greenery, some dense vegetation, flowing streams, rivers. A lot of forest roads are closed this time of year, but the ones that are at lower elevations have me yearning for summer. I cannot wait to be able to wander and explore throughout the entire mountains. This little camp stove boils water faster than my Coleman. I almost prefer it to make coffee in the morning. One thing that I've been putting into practice recently is a 4-core air down. So what I do is I pull each core one at a time, do one lap around the Jeep, and then do a second lap where I put the cores back in. And by that time, I'm nearly down to 15 psi, and it only takes a matter of, well, seconds. Pretty close. I'm going to go a little bit lower on each tire, but that got most of the job done right there. The only problem with pulling all 4 cores at the same time is you have to be quick on your feet and you have to be very careful with the cores because they're very tiny and easy to lose. But you can go to almost any tire shop and ask for a fistful of junk cores that they have in their trash just to have on hand as extras. This is personal preference, but I have screw-on tire deflators and also an ARB tire deflator, which I never ever use. I still prefer my pen gauge and my core puller. I am impressed. Dixie National Forest delivers. It is one phenomenal view after another. I'm only at 4,500 feet. I have the mountains looming above me. They're snow covered. This is just an amazing setting. Not only are all the forest roads extremely varied and colorful, there is an abundance of phenomenal dispersed camping opportunities. Tons of beautiful established campsites. This afternoon I left Dixie National Forest and I traveled south. And I'm currently on BLM land in the southwest corner of Utah making spaghetti next to the Virgin River. That is, if my water ever boils. This propane canister is almost kicked. Delicious. Spaghetti dinner is one of my favorite things to prepare in the backcountry. It's almost 10 p.m. down in the canyon, and I'm looking at Google Maps satellite view to get a better idea of the surrounding topography. Tomorrow, after my morning rituals, I'm going to go for a walk. I'm going to follow the canyon a little bit to the west, see where it goes and see what the terrain looks like. I'm always inspecting my tires for punctures, usually when I'm airing up and airing down, and I don't usually find anything. But in this case, I did find a nail or something that is penetrating a lug, and I don't think it's all the way through, so I'm going to go ahead and take it out of here. It's in there really good. It was at an angle, so it still might not have punctured the tire, but holy smokes. The tire doesn't seem to be leaking, although I don't know how, because I have never pulled out a larger nail in the field like that. I could not believe that it was all the way in. That's one of the reasons I absolutely swear by the BFG KO2. In the last 4 years I spent running that tire, I've never had a puncture in the backcountry from the terrain. So never rocks and sticks. Although I have had a half a dozen flat repairs just by driving on pavement and picking up a nail or a screw. I've done the time with these tires, I've been all over the US and Canada, and I've come to trust them completely. I know that they're going to get me through adverse terrain without catastrophic failure. So that's really what tire selection comes down to, more than anything else. Trust. Last night when I was looking at Google Maps satellite view, this canyon from space looks almost as flat as a pasture, and I knew it wasn't. just goes to show how much you can't depend on satellite view to get a good feel for elevations. This is absolutely a track or maybe an old stage road that people cut out of the hillside. Doesn't seem like it gets much use though. Maybe an occasional hiker like myself. Alright, after a lovely 4-mile hike along the river, I am back at camp. Despite it being sunny out and only 2:30 p.m., I'm going to settle down in here for a little bit because the wind picked up throughout the day and it's a little bit abrasive. So for right now, I'm going to listen to some music and make something for lunch in the warmth and comfort of Orangey. Two very densely packed double grilled cheese sandwiches. It's Thursday morning and I'm on the move again. The road up out of the canyon was very steep and very rocky, and it wasn't fixed rocks. It was softball-sized rocks that were very loose. The Jeep didn't have any trouble with its tires aired down and front sway bar disconnected, but it is something that you'd want additional ground clearance for because of all the loose rocks. This is the first week that we implemented the new van as a base camp. Earlier this week, my girlfriend Shannon and I met up and established a base camp in the mountains outside of St. George. So she's piloting the van and currently at our base camp tending to her business while I am out in the field recording. She is going to come with me from time to time on these backcountry adventures as her work allows, and I'm excited for that. But I'm just happy that we are able to be out in the field together with this 2-vehicle arrangement. So really, for the first time in years, at the end of this week, I'll be going home to Shannon, to Finnegan, to the van, and I'll spend time with them this weekend, and that will be my office where I edit and publish this video that you're watching now. It's okay, go for it. I'm a little bit cleaner than I usually am by this time on a Thursday afternoon. When I came out of the desert this morning and stopped at the Pilot truck stop to get gas, I also got a shower. It had been 2 weeks since I got my last shower, and I wanted to be presentable for when I got back to the van. The Revel itself has a shower and a 21-gallon water supply that I could have used, but I like to use that sparingly when we're out in the backcountry. Something is up with Orangey. I think I'm going to need to take it to the shop sooner than later. When I'm driving down the highway at highway speeds, I'm having trouble getting the Jeep to track straight. It feels like it's wandering to the left and to the right and then to the left again. I'm making all these micro adjustments in the steering wheel just to stay on course. It recently got a couple new ball joints, a new wheel bearing. Summit aligned it, looked over the steering system, and everything was tight and within spec. But it still wanders on the highway, and every once in a while, very inexplicably, as I'm fighting the wandering, traction control kicks in. Shannon and I were just taking a look at it, and she was in the driver's seat wiggling the steering wheel back and forth, while I was underneath looking around, and I think I see slop in the steering box. Although I could be wrong, I'm going to need someone else to take a look at it ASAP. That's a wrap for the week. We're going to settle in right here this weekend, and then when we're both done our computer work, we're going to relocate, and the adventure begins anew next week. I hope you all enjoyed another experience in southern Utah as much as I did. This is a beautiful place, and I can't wait to see more. Thanks for following along, and I will see you next week.